We have with us Jayesh Patel, the CEO of Wio Bank, and he's going to be in conversation with David Rowan, the editor-in-chief of Wired. So ladies and gentlemen, please give them a warm welcome. Always great to see you.
Good to see you.
Your happy customers here.
Glad to have that.
Thank you.
We're going to hear about one of the great entrepreneurial success stories of the region. If you look behind your chairs, you'll see a logo. The company doesn't make chairs. It's a new kind of bank that is born to back you. And since it launched just 3 years ago, it's been on a roll. Within 3 years, 50 billion dirhams in deposit, doubling year on year. Customers growing 72% year on year. A couple of 100,000 customers growing, last time I looked, by like 10, 15,000 a month. But also managing personal investments. There's about $1 billion of investment assets under management. Within 2 years, they had a 15% share of businesses in the UAE. But it's very customer focused. It keeps innovating, whether it's giving you cash back, 6% interest, when you're in a free zone, setting up a new company, making it seamless to start a bank account. Jayesh Patel, you have guided Wio Bank from an idea to one of the fastest growing financial services companies in the region, certainly the biggest here. What did you see that the existing banking system couldn't provide?
Yeah, look, I'll tell you, and we were having a chat. I think the reason why Wio has done so well, and look, we're incredibly thankful to our customers, is we started building a bank that we wanted to bank with. Yeah? One that was fair, easy to use, didn't make money so complicated that you couldn't make decisions, and one that would actually help us achieve our goals. Yeah? So when we started, we got a team of great people who fought for the customer and built a product that we think helps customers achieve more of their financial goals. Yeah? And so I think we started from a very different viewpoint of why we wanted to do banking versus many of the legacy banks or other products that are out there.
But you weren't a scrappy, typical startup. Some of the backers from the beginning, Abu Dhabi Holding Company, Alpha Dhabi, and First Abu Dhabi Bank, these were key players. To what extent was it them collectively saying, whatever the friction, whatever the regulatory hurdles, we're going to make sure this team scales?
Yeah. Look, I think we are incredibly blessed to have great shareholders and patient capital. Yeah? I think when you see a lot of startup funding, the key objective is to grow valuation. Ours was to build a sustainable business that helps us grow. So our shareholders were very clear. Build stuff that makes our customers happy, because NPS was one of our key parameters, helps our customers grow, yeah, and removes friction. So we had shareholders who believed in the same view that we wanted as a team. And the result of which is we have one of the highest NPS. We have 76 as our NPS. We were profitable in the first year of operations.
Which is extraordinary for a fintech.
Yeah, which is incredible. I think one of 3 banks maybe around the world. The first 2 are in China, where who've been profitable in the first year. So I think we hit all the parameters. I think largely looking at banking from one lens. You can be good to customers and still be profitable. Yeah? And I think that's the way we work, and that's why our customers have been incredible in supporting our growth.
You've definitely focused on creating a frictionless customer experience. Backstage, I just set up a bank account with you in 5 minutes. You scan your Emirates ID, you take a video of yourself nodding, and pretty much you're there. So you are now my bank manager. Thank you for that. Once you've established such a growth rate, and there are about 300 and something neobanks around the world, you have achieved a scale that many of them have wished for. Does that mean the UAE is the launch pad for what will be a multinational business? Where do you go after this?
Yeah, so look, I think we are blessed to be in an ecosystem where the government builds a lot of capabilities, which we consume that help us grow. I think we were just talking about it, the place is buzzing. There's a ton of people moving here, a ton of local new businesses starting. So we are in an incredibly positive environment, and I think for the next 10 years, I see hypergrowth in the UAE and the region. We have just started. We are 3 years old. Yep, we got a ton of stuff to do. The way we see it, our focus is going to be building more businesses and more capabilities in the UAE because we see the opportunity. I think we will scale to other markets, but more opportunistically. I think we have a lot more to do in this market, a lot more value to generate, and serving the market for the next 2-3 years is going to be our primary focus.
But then after 2 or 3 years, could I bank with you if I'm a resident of a neighboring country?
You know, quite possibly, quite possibly. We've looked at opportunities, and I think when the right opportunity with the right framework comes along, we'd love to scale. The beauty is we've built our technology and our team that allows us to scale into multiple markets. So by design, we've been built that way. For right now, we want to deepen our relationships with our existing customers. There's a few product lines and some really exciting stuff we'll be launching soon, which we are working on. We want to broaden our customer base here.
Give us some hints, just between friends, on what product lines may be around the corner.
My marketing team will kill me because
they're not here, they're having a drink.
They're working on something. So I'll tell you, one of the biggest challenges we see, I know I face it, I know a lot of customers face it, is how do you manage money? Yep. And if I ask you, how many of you are UAE residents? Yeah? I ask you a simple question. How much money do you spend a month on food delivery? Yeah? Whenever I ask that question, I've asked it a bunch of times, I still don't know how much I spend. Yeah? Deliveroo should make me platinum because of how much my family spends on it. But it's a simple question. How do you manage family money? How do you manage where you want to spend, where you don't want to spend? How do you live today and not forget tomorrow? I think those are the big questions we are trying to address. We have an incredible offering that is coming. We are super excited about it. We hope our customers are. That will help you achieve more of your goals longer term. Yeah? It makes it super simple. It makes it more transparent and hopefully a lot more rewarding. So we're super excited about that. That's on the consumer side. On the business side, one of the biggest asks from our customers is give us access to credit. So we're working on a bunch of different things to help expand our availability of credit to our SME businesses.
It's a very entrepreneurial approach to finance. Your background is from the incumbent banks. You worked with Emirates, NBD, you helped digitize them, and then you were involved in the launch 8 years ago of Live. What are they missing? What are the incumbents not seeing that Wio understands?
Yeah, look, I think we have the privilege of starting from scratch. Yeah, I think if you look at the UAE, the big banks are doing incredibly well. You know, I often hear globally from not just banks, other corporates also, we have legacy technology. Yeah, I actually don't think it's legacy technology that's the problem. Tech will do whatever you want it to do. I think it's legacy organizational structure. I think legacy revenue is a drug which is very hard to get off. And I think the combination of the two, yeah, build organizations that make sure customers get the residual of the process. For us, the bank builds the residual of our customer experience. We build what our customers want. they build what their systems and policies and everything end up giving the customer. Yeah?
So how do you design a culture that forces everybody at every level of the bank to think of customer first?
Yeah, so it's difficult. We don't always get it right. Yeah, but when we do go wrong, we take it incredibly seriously. One, we hire the right people. We have an amazing team that fights at every level. Yeah, it's not just at the CEO, it's at the product, it's at the design, it's at the tech, it's at the service who'll come and say, this is not right for the customer. And everyone has a voice. If it's not right for the customer, we have very clear principles. If it doesn't work with our principles, we should not do it. Yeah? And I think we had the advantage of starting with a small team, agreeing on these principles and then scaling them. And as we grow, we try to keep those principles. But that does help a lot. Yeah? In consulting, everyone says customer-centric, and it became a great buzzword. And most companies across industries are not customer-centric. Yeah? I think one of the things we've done very well is to bring people who will fight for the customer. Yeah? And usually when you're deciding in a room, guess the one person who's not in that room? The customer. So the person who loses out is the customer. Yeah? In ours, each one of our members fights for the customer. I think that's the big difference.
The challenge, Jayesh, is you're, even over just 3 years, now increasingly looking like an incumbent. You are building a dominant position, at least in terms of the digital platforms. How do you think about disrupting yourself? How do you stop being too relaxed?
It's a great question. Yeah, it's we want to be 200 times better than our competition. That's what we want to do internally. And about 2 months ago, we meet every quarter, every half year. We bring 30 to 35 people. Doesn't matter what hierarchy they are, but they are people who drive impact. Yep. They come and they set a set of goals and they give them to me. And they say, over the next 6 months, we need this transformation to happen. And so we set a month ago, set out a bunch of goals and said, these are the things our customers don't like about us, and we need to fix those. And that's our top priority. These are the changes we see. Yeah, AI is a big change coming. For us, it's a great opportunity to serve our customers better. Yep. And that's what we want to do. So every 6 months, we sit back, we reflect and say, how are things changing? Where are we doing well? That's great, but where aren't we doing well? And what is out there that helps us do better? Yeah? And this cycle, every 6 months, setting objectives helps us do this better.
And you mentioned AI, as everybody else at Jitex and Expand North Star is doing. But let's drill down a bit into specific ways you're using it to boost productivity, because everybody knows, even though we're a bit scared, that it's coming to redefine the humans' jobs, but it's also a potential growth engine. Give us some very specific examples of how embedding AI into the various Wio offerings is making things work better.
Yeah, so we have a few use cases. Look, we don't see AI as a tool to increase productivity. It does, and it's great. The reality is, for years we've spoken about personalizing. It's never happened globally. That's the reality of it. I think what AI does do, it helps customize, yeah? And it helps serve customers and give them the right information or the right guidance to make the right decisions that are important for them. Yeah? So for example, in our wealth app in Wio Securities, we have an AI capability in there which will give you an analysis of your portfolio. It'll tell you where you're investing, how it's doing relative to other stuff, customized build for you. That will grow, and the language will become easier if you want it easy like I do. Yeah? If you're sophisticated, it'll be complicated. It will allow you to make better decisions so you achieve your goals better. And that's where we want to use it. On the personal finance side, budgeting is a nightmare. 80% of the people don't like doing this. This tool will make it a lot simpler for you to help manage your money. Yeah? For example, I used to drink coffee outside a lot. I realized how much I spent, and I said, you know what, I better buy a coffee machine. Yeah? And now I've cut it down by 90%. It's a choice I made, but the insights and actioning on them are important. Yep. So we use it at that. Third, how do we give a customer a better experience? When you're opening your account, how do we make it smoother? How do we process transactions better? So it's a processing tool also. So for us, it's all three capabilities: serving our customer better with better insights, making sure your journey with us is a lot smoother, and helping you take better decisions. Yeah? So those are the three things. We're doing pilots across all three: our back office, our AI insights for wealth, yeah, and helping bring insights so that the customer can make better decisions. So you'll start seeing some of this being rolled out in the app.
And what have you learned about customer behavior that surprised you, that you didn't expect at the beginning?
You know, customers are a lot more irrational than you think they are. Yeah? And the idea is you'll always make a customer make a rational decision. Yeah? And that's the objective. But to me, the learning I've got is they don't want to make a rational decision, because rational decisions are not fun. They want to live their life, they want to make irrational decisions, but they also want you to help them make sure they live for tomorrow and not just today. So it's a balancing act. Yeah? Telling a customer, don't spend here, doesn't work. Letting a customer spend somewhere else, but taking the opportunity of insight and making them save somewhere else, that's the game. Yeah? So I think customers don't love logging into their bank unless you have a big bank balance. Yeah? You have to make them excited about, it's like going to a dentist. You don't want to go to the dentist. This is a dentist you visit every day on your phone. You have to make it exciting for them. Yeah? So the best insight is you have to nudge them to take decisions, but you can't judge them on the decisions they take.
And do you have behavioral economists in your team helping understand how to nudge?
You know, we have a bunch of smart people who are beginning to understand customers better, and we use a lot of that data to help us figure out what to do with customers. But we have a long way to go on this journey.
Now, we've been talking about Wio as a banking app, as an investment product through a banking app, but you see it more as an embedded finance platform that doesn't just work with Wio. Yes. How do you define platform when it comes to what you're building?
Yeah, look, our vision of banking is today you come to a bank for banking services. Tomorrow you're going to go to the platforms you like. If you're a business and you're engaging on an e-commerce platform, you want access to money and payments on that platform. You never know. You might go to ChatGPT and do banking on ChatGPT one day. I think it's essential, not just for the banks, but other platforms, to open up their capabilities so you're accessed on different platforms as they grow. It may be a food delivery platform, it may be e-commerce, it may be an LLM, because the world is changing. If you provide a service, your service should be accessible on your platform, but other platforms also. And I think with AI, this is going to accelerate. So we've built for it, and we are very keen to see this space grow.
Last quick question, Jayesh. You're moving incredibly quickly. When we meet again at Jitex next year, in December, in the new location, how big will Wio Bank be?
It's a great question. Yeah, I think I'll give you a corny answer. I think we have happier customers. We have more families who invest with us for a better future, and we make more businesses successful. Yeah, to me, the count of the customer is important, but I think having a larger number of customers saying, you know what, I am with Wio, so I am doing better, I'm getting there, is more important. Yep. So that's what we are focused on.
Please can we thank my personal bank manager, Jayesh Patel of Wio Bank.
Thank you. Thank you very much.